He laughs half a second too late, not because the joke wasn't funny. Because he was checking if everyone else laughed first. He adjusts his voice depending on who's in the room. Lower with authority, softer with affection, sharper with competition, and when he's alone. He doesn't know which one is real. He wasn't always like this. As a child, he learned something quietly dangerous. Approval feels like safety. When he spoke boldly, someone corrected him. When he cried, someone dismissed him. When he disagreed, someone withdrew. So he began editing himself. Not dramatically, not rebelliously, just small adjustments. He learned which version of him earned smiles, which version avoided tension, which version survived the room. Over time, the adjustments became automatic. Now he doesn't prepare conversations. He prepares personalities and the unfinished part. He doesn't know who he is when no one is watching. Pause for a moment. When you walk into different rooms, does your posture change, your tone, your opinions? Be honest, how much of you is authentic? And how much is strategically assembled? Don't answer out loud, just notice. He calls it reading the room. People praise him for being adaptable, flexible, socially intelligent, but adaptability can slowly become erasure. At work, he mirrors ambition. With friends, he mirrors humor. With family, he mirrors tradition. In relationships, he mirrors desire. He becomes what is needed. Which sounds noble until you realize something. If you are always reflecting others, when do you ever originate? He doesn't start arguments. He doesn't state strong preferences. He doesn't reveal unpopular thoughts, not because he has none, but because disagreement once cost him connection. And connection feels too expensive to lose again. So he practices being agreeable, polished, predictable, safe. One day, someone asks him a simple question. What do you actually want? He opens his mouth. Nothing comes out. Not because he's indecisive, because he's disconnected. The versions of him have multiplied, but the core has thinned. He scrolls through his own social media and feels like he's studying a character. He laughs at stories he doesn't remember feeling. He posts opinions that match the crowd, and in private, he feels strangely absent. Here's the realization that unsettles him. He is not afraid of rejection. He is afraid of being defined. Because if he shows a clear identity, someone might not like it. And if someone doesn't like it, he might lose belonging. So he chooses fragmentation over friction. Short-term harmony, long-term emptiness. The strange part, no one forced him. The world didn't demand he disappear. He volunteered, gradually, politely. He tells himself he's easygoing, but ease has become avoidance. He tells himself he's mature, but maturity has become suppression. He tells himself he's low drama, but drama requires conviction. He avoids strong preferences because preferences create edges. And edges invite conflict, so he smooths himself down, over and over, until he becomes difficult to hold, even for himself. There's a quiet moment one evening. He's alone, no audience, no expectations, no reactions to measure. He tries to choose music. He stares at the screen. What do I like? The question feels foreign. Not tragic, just unfamiliar. That's when it hits him. He hasn't been living. He's been rehearsing conversations, rehearsing reactions, rehearsing acceptable versions, always prepared, never present. And here's the unexpected truth. He didn't lose himself all at once. He outsourced himself, piece by piece. To rooms, to opinions, to approval, to comfort, to safety. The unfinished part of his story isn't trauma. It's authorship. He handed the pen to everyone else. And now he doesn't recognize the handwriting. Here's the shift. Adaptability isn't identity. Mirroring isn't depth. Being liked isn't the same as being known. He thought he was protecting himself, but he was protecting an image, not a self. The deeper truth, you can survive by shape-shifting. But you can't feel whole, because identity isn't built from consensus. It's built from friction, from saying, no, that's not me, from allowing disagreement, from choosing preference over applause. And suddenly, the unfinished story isn't about confidence. It's about ownership. Who are you when the room goes silent? Who are you when no one is measuring you? Who are you when being liked is no longer the priority? That's the work, not becoming better, becoming defined. He starts small. He chooses a restaurant without asking for votes. He disagrees once, calmly. He admits he doesn't enjoy something he used to pretend to. It feels uncomfortable, exposed, alive. Not everyone approves. Some people are confused, a few pull back. But something else happens. He sleeps lighter, speaks clearer, laughs on time. The unfinished part doesn't vanish overnight, but it stops bleeding. Because for the first time, he isn't practicing a personality, he's inhabiting one. Maybe the most dangerous thing isn't being misunderstood. Maybe it's being universally accepted for a version of you that doesn't exist. And maybe the quiet courage you've been avoiding is simply this: stop adjusting, start choosing. If this reached you at the right time, you know why.